What is happening, people, and welcome to the very first training video in a very long time. But if you did catch the last video, you'll know that I am trying to up the frequency, so hopefully you guys will be seeing my face at least a little bit more often. But what would a good training video be without a question of the day? Now, if you did want to participate in this, all that you need to do is leave your answer in the comment section down below. But today's question is, how long have you been training versus how long have you been training seriously? Now, for me personally, I'm actually coming up on 30 years of weight training. However, I'd probably say I didn't get serious about it until probably about 2006. So probably about 14 years ago. And the reason why I got more serious about it is because I realized that I could see other people's lifts on the internet. And at the time, when I was in commercial gyms, I weighed like 220 pounds and was deadlifting probably around like 455. And that was the best of like, if you went to a commercial gym in 2006, a 455 deadlift was a big deal. However, I went on the internet and saw guys weighing like literally like 130 pounds, deadlifting like 600 pounds. And I was like, I weigh 220 pounds. I can't, something's wrong here. And then literally after that, my ceiling kind of got broken and all of my lifts for like the next 2 to 3 years just skyrocketed. But then even after that, I had not done one iota of strongman training until I was 34 years old. So literally that was what, 2014, so maybe like 8-9 years ago. So I really haven't even been doing that long. So for all of you wondering if it's too late to start powerlifting or too late to start strongman or too late to start lifting weights, the answer is no. I started at absolutely nothing at 34 besides having a lifting background and was able to go pretty far and got to do a lot of really cool things in that sport. So it's never too late. But if you guys do want to participate, tell me down in the comment section below, how long have you actually been training versus how long have you been training seriously? I really do appreciate you guys participating, and I really actually enjoy reading all of your answers. So thank you. Now on to training. Okay, so today started with every minute, on the minute farmers carries, and this is a pretty regular thing for me now since I've added carries back into virtually every single workout that I'm doing. A lot of people have been commenting that I'm getting bigger again and I must be putting on weight, but that's actually not true. I'm actually dropping weight and leaning out currently, so it just kind of probably looks like I'm getting a little bit bigger because my upper back is filling back out from all the weighted carries. So I do very much appreciate the compliments, but I'm actually smaller and lighter than I have been in the past. However, just as I've mentioned in so many videos in the past, I cannot recommend weighted carries enough. They are an absolute game changer. If you're not putting them in your current strength programming, then you absolutely should, because it will change everything. I'm actually coming up with a program right now where it incorporates carries every single day that you train, and I think it is going to make a big difference in many people's training who aren't really interested in competing, but they want to be as athletic as possible, but still strong, well-conditioned, and a functional person overall. So I'm really pumped about that. That should be coming out. I'm not going to make any promises, so we will say soon. And this brings us to the strength portion of the day, which is of course in giant set form, which consisted of 3 sandbag over shoulder at 200 pounds. And the reason why I'm doing this is as a primer for the deadlift. I'm trying to get my hips moving as explosively as possible so that when I come up to this bar, it moves really well. Now, I have done 2 sets prior to this. I'm just showing you 315 to start, just because I didn't want to take the time to show you all of my sets. After my deadlift, I was going right into these leg swingy things that I just covered in a video, maybe 1 video, 2 videos ago. The basic idea there is challenging my core in a different way from the plank position than I ever have before. And so I'm actually really enjoying them a lot. And I've been throwing them in on just about every single deadlift day that I've been doing recently. Now there is something coming up on a lot of these reps. Watch how fast this 405 rep is. It is faster than what I normally feel like I would have pulled it. And one of the reasons why is there's kind of a phenomenon going on, because when I did those farmer's walk beforehand, number one, doing any sort of weighted carry as the first thing in your workout is going to wake up your central nervous system and make sure that you are good to go and that you are mentally checked into the workout. There's no doubt about that. But you have to think, for multiple sets of that farmer's walk, I was deadlifting 550 pounds and carrying it around, spending a bunch of time under tension. So when I go up to something like the 405 set or even the 500 set that's about ready to happen, it's actually kind of like a back off set from what I've been doing. So I actually really like doing the weighted carries before my strength work. I know a lot of people might see some sort of small dip at first until your work capacity builds up and your body just gets used to what it is that you're actually doing. But once you get used to it, I'm telling you, it is the greatest thing going, man. Get the weighted carries in. I'm going to write that program. It is going to be an absolute game changer. I love it so far. We're coming up to the top set of the day, which ended up being at 605 pounds for a double. Here are my sandbag over shoulder, which I really can't explain to you guys how much sandbag work helps with functionality as well as just building up your upper back. And once you have a bigger upper back, you're good to go. Here is the 605. It really didn't feel too bad. I did a really good job pulling the slack out of the bar. I did a really poor job of keeping my head in. There goes my head straight up. Oh, good, great, perfect, wonderful. Yeah, the head position was terrible. Everything else is starting to shape up and look a little better. But to be honest with you, taking anything over 600 pounds for a ride and feeling pretty decent about the reps and my form always makes for a pretty darn good day. But after that, I moved on to my assistants for the day, which were good mornings. I did 3 rounds, sets of 10 on the good morning, and then I was doing sets of 10 on the sandbag squat, 2 sets of 15 on the glute ham raise. Now, good mornings, I know a lot of people are not fans of, but I actually have a video called A Case for the Good Morning because I am a huge fan of it if you do it correctly. If you don't know how to breathe and brace, I would not recommend that exercise, but if you do, it can do a lot to help your squat as well as your deadlift. Now these are sandbag squats. Notice how deep I'm dropping, and then at top, I'm squeezing my butt and I'm squeezing my back, just like I was going to do a weighted carry or a load. These are incredible as an assistance exercise at the end of your deadlift day or your squat day. I would highly, highly recommend throwing those in if you do have a sandbag. If you don't, you can grab anything of weight and hug it to your chest, and then of course, glute ham raises you can't go wrong with. All right, so there we go, people, and I'm pretty happy with this being the first training video back, and I'm super happy to be training with some sort of emotional content and being excited about my training again. But if I'm being honest, it's probably because I'm starting to feel a little bit like my old self again, and I know I've mentioned it plenty of times in this video, but that is because my upper back is coming back, and once my upper back comes back, all the other lifts just start climbing. So when you have a good foundation to produce strength from, no matter whether you're doing a squat, a bench, an overhead press, or especially a deadlift, having a strong upper back is going to help you tremendously. So now that my upper back is kind of filling back in and I'm feeling a little bit like my old self, the weights are starting to move a little bit better, it becomes a little bit more fun, I get a little bit more of my attitude back, and it's all good things. So I thank you guys so much for joining me for this video and all the ways that you guys support channel. I especially thank you guys so much for all of the positivity off of the last video where I talked about all those changes. I can't tell you how just overwhelmed I was with the response and your guys' positivity, and just, it was really, really awesome. So I thank you guys so much. I will catch up with you guys later in the week. Until I do go out to something amazing in your lives, keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then.